The masculine is recuperating from the holiday season. They have invested a lot of energy and money into Christmas, and because of this, it's affected their finances. So now they're working at becoming financially secure, and in order for them to do this, they have to be mindful about how much energy they give. So they're thinking about the feminine, and they have a great deal of passion for the feminine. For some masculines, they do want a relationship, and that is indicated by the King of Pentacles. So this individual is very secure. They pride themselves in being the provider, the protector. They're reliable, hardworking, trustworthy. You know, the relationship that you would have with this individual, the King of Pentacles, would be long lasting. However, paired with the Knight of Pentacles, this isn't necessarily saying that it's going to lead to a committed relationship, because there's still energy that's lingering, and this energy has to do with their beliefs, their fears, their insecurities, you know. And then here we have the Karma card. So this is also talking about judgment and all the lessons that are ours within this lifetime. And so the Six of Cups is also talking about our childhood, and so there's sort of this lack mentality that the masculine has, and they have fear of not having financial stability. So this is why some masculines have problems with money. So what they would do is they would, you know, work hard, play hard, and they struggle with savings. And this is to do with like them being very impulsive, making financial decisions in the moment that are not necessarily going to be good for them in the long run. So it's sort of like this all or nothing beliefs, or whatever like the word is. So that's one of the lessons that the masculine has to understand, is like, okay, like, you know, it's like having balance. You can't just, you know, like have the feminine when it's convenient, give them just enough, and then, you know, while at the same time not fully recognizing exactly what the feminine needs. So it's basically the masculine being selfish and, you know, just being selfish and self-absorbed and not really thinking about the bigger picture. So it's all fine, you know, it's all fine and dandy in the moment when the masculine comes rushing in with all of this passion and, you know, this sexiness, and then, you know, they come in and, you know, it's just sort of like this big shindig, it's this big party, and then like they're all like in la la land and you know, living their life, and you know, they go on this huge spending spree, and then once they're done, like they're just back to square one. They have nothing to give the feminine because they've spent all their money, and now they're back at it, they're back working, and it's just like basically goes back to square one of the masculine focusing on their financial stability, only having so much to give, and you know, just like 100% focused on just on everything that I said. Okay, it's Mercury retrograde. The words aren't coming as clearly as it would be. I would like it, but anyways. So here So this is like basically like the reason why they do this is because when they were children, they didn't have what they needed. Their needs weren't met. So when they do get money, they just go crazy. So what the feminine needs is somebody who is responsible, somebody who is able to make decisions and be very forthcoming, right? So it's like pairing or matching this energy. So like both the masculine and the feminine being on the same page, wanting the same things, having clear communication, having a balanced, secure, steady, solid, reliable masculine. But the feminine hasn't got that, right? So this is what the feminine wants. They want loyalty. They want a long-lasting, committed relationship, commitment. They want to enter into an agreement with the masculine, and both of them being on the same page, right? So it's like coming together and, let's say this is when you are in a relationship, you're able to share the expenses. So here we have the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So right now the masculine isn't taking into consideration the needs and wants of the feminine. They're looking in this direction. They're focusing on their finances, and it's just sort of like this vicious cycle of like work, money, and then it all like all of this passion, all of this like anticipation to release, to connect with the feminine because they've been working so hard. And then finally they get some time off, and then they're like, they hook up with the feminine, and then the masculine leaves again, and they go in, they go spend all their money, and then they have no money, and then they're like feel lost and lonely and sad because they don't have money and they don't have the feminine. So it's just like this vicious cycle of like in and out, in and out, in and out. And it doesn't actually lead to a solid commitment because the masculine is being selfish. They're not realizing, they're not valuing or appreciating the offering that the feminine is giving the masculine, giving them. So if this is you and you're the feminine, you're like, like, what do you want? Do you want somebody who's reliable, somebody who's like a family man and takes care of you and who's solid and secure? Or do you want somebody who's immature, somebody who just keeps coming and going? So here we have the Star card. So it's the matter of like the feminine making a decision. Okay, like how much longer are you willing to put up with this? Like, aren't you ready for a change? Aren't you ready for the masculine to finally come in and communicate their feelings and like just make this decision to enter into a committed relationship? Or are you going to continue to, stay caught up in your head and refusing to make a decision, refusing to be clear and direct, no more nonsense, and while at the same time, like causing the feminine a great deal of pain, feeling like they're stuck, feeling like, they're, well, how you're feeling. So take an inventory about how you're feeling. And that would also be here with the Three of Pentacles, is sitting down and writing out the pros and cons and asking yourself, is this worth your while? Is that like one night or, that quickie actually benefiting you? Is it worth your while to continue to keep doing what you've been doing? So anything else, Spirit? What does the feminine need to do? What's the best approach? So success. So some masculines are still holding on to another person. They're still imagining about the other person and thinking, well, maybe I'll be with the feminine, maybe I'll be with this other person. I'm not sure what I want. It's like, here's the Three of Swords and the Three of Cups. And for some of you, it's not actually another person, like a love interest for the masculine. For some, it's just them choosing work, money, their friends, their family over the feminine. And then the feminine's like, love me, pay attention to me, express your feelings, tell me how you're feeling. You know, it's like the moon card is talking about hidden information. And so what the hidden information is the masculine refusing to express their feelings and refusing to offer commitment. And then what the feminine's doing is just waiting and waiting and waiting and just hoping that the masculine will see what they see, because the feminine's just so in love with the masculine and is just like adores them and thinks that they're so awesome. But like the masculine is choosing something other than them. It's like how much longer, how much more patience, how patient do you have to be, feminine? Right? So it's like, okay, make a decision. You want a relationship? You know, I'm choosing to start, I'm changing directions. I'm no longer willing to be caught up in this state or be caught in this delusion, these daydreams, these fantasies. You know, it's like, okay, time for me to set a boundary. And it's like, if the masculine wanted to commit, they would commit. And this is like the King of Wands. And this person is, out of all the kings, is like the least likely to commit. When they do commit, like they're 100% in it. They're very loyal. You know, this person is very fun and it's very fun to be around them, and they bring a lot of enthusiasm and excitement, and it's very carefree and fun-loving relationship, and that's what the feminine needs, right? They don't need to be just sitting around waiting to receive communication from the masculine. So if the feminine wants to have waiting on receiving communication right here. So if the feminine wants success, they want to have their victory, they want to have a committed relationship, they're going to have to learn the lesson. They're going to have to make the decision to stop doing what they've been doing. So that is your reading. Rhyme time. Yay. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate all of you. And if you're interested in a personal reading, my information to book one is in the description. Much love to all of you, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.